from where we left off, let's continue from here. I want to repeat again that when you want to actually reproject your file, you simply try to save it as a different file, and then the reprojection is done. So you right click the layer on the left hand side. Let me grab my pointer again. Okay, go to the left hand side, right click it, and then you get this beautiful dialog box, which I'm moving now. And then over here, you make sure the format is ESRI shapefile, which is the other formats. But for now, religiously stick with this one. Then you browse to a folder, click this button here, and then type a name into this box that you want the new file to be called. So I suggested structures_UTM. And you type that in and you say save. And when you say save, then you have this path showing here. Are you okay? So in this path, you leave it like that and you come down to this. So we are still working in this dialog box. Are you with me, Mr. Belliger, classroom?
Yes, please, sir.
So right now, click on this button here on the right hand side. Select CRS. Have you done that?
I'm going there now, sir.
Yeah. Your computer is a bit slow, is it?
Oh, no. I was,
okay.
It wasn't minimized. I just joined, so it wasn't minimized. I'm here.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, so click that. So please, if you are not done it, you need to tell me because I don't want to repeat.
Is there? I'm there. It has
put the UTM, type UTM. Okay, pick UTM zone 13 off. Click it. Look for it. Say okay. Have you done that? So at filter, there's a filter text box here. Type in UTM. And it will bring you get a list. You get a list of WJ84 UTM zone 23, 24, whatever. Look for 30N or 30 north. And remember that 30 north is that.
I've seen 30.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I said I've seen 30.
30 north, not just 30.
Hello, sir.
I want 30 north, not 30, just 30.
Okay.
There's 30 south, which is South Africa. Please, everybody pay attention. Let's pay attention to detail. So I want zone 30 north. That's just what I want. Nothing less, nothing more. Are you okay? So select it, okay, in the list, like the way I've done it. It turns blue like this. Okay, gets highlighted. Then you say okay. Then you see it now in your dialog box, the save layer as dialog box. You see it filling here like this. So you see EPSJ 32630 WGS84 UTM zone 30 north. Okay, now this is the map projection system that is associated with the data that we want to now create. So we are moving from WGS84 to UTM zone 30.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yeah, I'm listening to you.
I can't get zone 30 north.
Okay, let's go back again. Let's do it together. So you are going to type in, I want you to type these numbers. Clear the filter box. Are you okay? Go back there. Have you cleared the filter box? Have you seen the filter? Yes. Filter. Have you seen it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Type in 32630. 32630. Look on my screen. 630.
Yeah.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm showing. Are you seeing my everything on my screen on your screen?
You said
32630. Look on my screen as I've shared it. Have you seen my dialog boxes?
Yeah, I've seen it. It has come, sir. Yes, sir. It has come.
Let me ask you a question. Do you see my dialog boxes?
Yes, sir.
Great. We'll be looking at it as well as you go. All right, great. So now let's carry on. So you are back here. Follow it, please. I think sometimes I get distracted. If you follow it, I'm going very slowly. In this save vector layer as dialog box over here, now be here. Everything should look like mine. somehow, except the file name. Are you okay?
Okay. Okay.
So double check and make sure that is the same. Are you having the same thing? Except this file name here. But you're having the same thing here, CRS. The format will be the same. I mean, basically, these are the two things you've done. Are you okay? Now, make sure that you have add save file to map. This one. Make sure you check this box. Then you say, okay.
All
right. So
sir.
say okay. Yes.
We're not there. We're not there, sir.
You're not there. So where are you? Where are you?
The art safe. The art. I'm not seeing that on my.
So okay. Just say okay. Just say okay. Say okay.
Okay.
See if you look on the left-hand panel and see if you have a new layer there.
There's no new. Everything after that it has a automatic and another layout options. That's all.
You don't see a new layer there.
No, please, sir.
Okay. Do you remember where you saved your file? I asked you to save it. Save.
Yes. I
Go there and go and check if it's there. There's a new file, a file there, a couple of files there with the name that you give to it, stadium_UTM. Go and check.
Okay.
Do you find them there? New files there?
Yeah.
Yes. I want to have a yes. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is your yeah, dear. I want yes. All right. So now that is your projected file, but how do we know that it's really the one that we actually looking for? Okay. So the best way to do that is let's close the whole thing. So go to projects and then go to exit QGIS. Can you do that for me? So you're closing it. Are you okay? Close the program.
Yes, sir.
Exit QGIS.
We're there.
Okay. Just say, are you sure you want to proceed? Yes. I mean, you can even save it, but me, I'm not going to save it. I don't need to save it. You can save it. Okay, so now this is what we are going to do. We are going to open QGIS again. So open QGIS again. And then when it starts, we want to add the UTM, the new files that have been created. We want to bring them into the QGIS. I hope you're starting QGIS again. Are you? Make sure you're doing that now.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello. So please open QGIS again, and when you are ready, tell me you're done so that we can have an interactive class.
All right, so we're done.
Okay, great. So you should be having an empty interface like I'm having. Okay,
Yes.
and we are going to add UTM. You go to layer, add vector layer, as we did. We've done this before. Are you okay? So we shouldn't waste time on it. Look for that file.
Yes, sir. The one we just saved.
Yeah, one we just saved, yes. And then open the shape file as we did. But this time we want the UTM, the one that we call UTM. And then we just click add. And we should have it will look the same, but they are different. The difference lies in the coordinates. So you want to go down at the bottom, the coordinates down here. You see that now the coordinates have changed from -0.19 and then comma 5 to now 810,992, 614,231. Are you okay? But it's not even 810,000, is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah. But so now these are the coordinates. These are UTM coordinates. These are projected coordinates. So now it's like as if the cylinder has been cut open and spread out. So this is a true flat surface. So our data is now projected. I hope you, do you have any questions? I hope you understood it. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, do you follow it? Do you get it? Okay, right click
Yes,
the
sir.
layer. Right click the layer. Please, any question? I'm talking to you. I want to have an interaction with you. Do you understand what I mean by these the projected coordinates? Moving from geographical longitudes, latitudes to the Cartesian coordinate system. If you don't mind me, my questions will mind.
Hello.
Now, but my coordinate is different from yours. How come?
What is different in terms of what?
You are having a.
No, those coordinates are changing. They are dynamic. They are dynamic.
Okay.
They change.
Okay,
Depends on
okay.
where your mouse is. Are you okay?
Okay, okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, talk to me. Yeah.
So this time the new coordinates, are they in relation to distances?
Do you understand coordinate systems?
Yes, I do.
Coordinates are coordinates are pairs of numbers. Are you okay?
You said now they've moved from the degree system to the Cartesian coordinate.
We have moved from a certain two-dimensional coordinate system to another type. Are you okay? In fact, one of them was actually not two-dimensional. It was three-dimensional. The globe to the flat surface. Were you here when we were doing the map projection lecture?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I said in that lecture was that the Earth is round. The best way to represent it is as round sphere. And in a round sphere, the best way to put a coordinate on it is to have longitudes running from the North Pole to the South Pole. Are you okay? And then for latitudes from running one through the middle, a special one called the equator, and then the other ones running parallel to it called the latitude. Are you okay? All right. Now coordinates for longitude and latitude are actually small values. Are you okay? Because they span between what 0 and 360. Is that not so? Right?
Yes, sir.
Great. So now the first layer we're looking at, I showed you coordinates at the bottom, which were indicating that data from Ghana around Accra were approaching, longitudes were approaching 0, which is true because every little child in primary school knows that the Greenwich Meridian goes through Tema. Are you with me? So now if the stadium is here, if we are looking at the stadium, Accra Sports Stadium, then the value should be a little close to 0. In fact, the longitudes around Nigeria, we're talking about something like 15 degrees. Are you okay? 20 degrees thereabouts. Are you okay? Then as we go around the Earth, you go come back, you almost get 360. Are you okay? All right. So now we have taken that coordinate system of longitudes and latitudes, and we have converted it to a flat, are you okay, planimetric, what we call the Cartesian coordinate system. Are you okay? Which is what everyone is used to, even in GIS, where people were drawing graphs. That was the type of coordinate system they were using. You see the Y going like this, the X going like that. Are you okay? That conversion is called map projection. Okay. So now what we've done is that we've just done using software, we have done what we call reprojection. Are you okay? Which means that we move from one projection system or coordinate system, which was spherical or geographical, and we converted the coordinates into a rectangular Cartesian coordinate system known as the UTM. The concept is of the UTM, it makes use of the cylindrical, developable surface. I hope you remember that lecture. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
That lecture is being practicalized. So you need to now have that synergy. Are you okay? So that you can appreciate, okay, this is what I was saying in the lecture. That was theory. This is practical. Are you with me? Now, when you look at the bottom here, the values you are having here is in conformity with what I said in that lecture, that the units in the UTM are in meters. And that's the central meridian is 500,000 meters, isn't it? So the central meridian is like a longitude. Are you okay? Or let me just say it measures the X. So the X value of 810,000, yeah, 987 down here is actually saying that we are about 300,000 meters away from the central meridian where we are over here. Okay. All right. And then this one is the Y, which is actually the latitude. And remember that the latitude is actually reference to the equator, which is actually what? 0 degrees. So it means that we are about 614,000 meters away from the equator, which lies somewhere in the sea. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yes, sir.
Great. So you asked a question. That's why I'm talking plenty. So if you understand it, you just say I get it. Because if you didn't ask a question, I'll be talking plenty. Are we okay?
I get it.
Great.
But when we were doing the practical, I was drawing your attention, but you were not. It seems you are not hearing me.
Oh, okay. But are you happy now?
I followed yours, so later I'll use the video to do mine.
That's fine. That's fine. The truth is that you need to understanding is the main thing. Seek wisdom, and in order get understanding. Okay, now let's move on. We want to do a buffer around the stadium, all the structures. We want to do a buffer. Now, before we do the buffer, in the buffer operation, we need to appreciate the distances. So let's pick our ruler or our measure line, okay, and then measure in meters a certain distance away from the stadium. So let's assume that during the COVID, we are supposed to keep a certain distance away from a structure. Okay, or we are putting up the stadium and we need to make sure that it's a certain distance away. Okay, let's create a simple buffer of about 40 meters. Are you okay? No, let's make it 80 meters, anything between 50 meters and 20 meters. Okay, so I'm saying this based on what you see on the screen right now. I'm actually measuring, so I have an idea what the buffer distance will be. All right. All right, so now we are going to do a buffer. Let's go to the vector menu. And we are going to look for the buffer operation, which is under geoprocessing tools. So look for geoprocessing tools under the vector menu. Let's all go for it. If you find it,
sir,
let me know. If you can't,
is it view? Setup, yeah.
Go to vector. Geoprocessing tools, buffering. I think people are not looking at what I'm showing on the screen, crowd.
I'm there. We're there.
Sir, we are watching.
Okay, go for buffer. Okay, we're going for buffer, and you see that automatically the input layer is UTM. Are you okay? And there's a distance, a buffer distance of 10 meters. That has also been automatically chosen. All right.
Yes.
Right now, you can see the end cap style. Remember, I talked about the capping the ends of the line buffer. So when you see end cap style, that's what you should be looking at. And the rest, let's just ignore the rest. Don't touch it. Don't be touching anything. Okay. Don't click anything. Leave it. So focus on a buffer distance of 10 meters. But we want to change that and make it between 15 and 20. You can put in any value you like, between 15 and 20 meters. Okay, and then you just click run. How easy is that? Okay, so immediately you do that, it tells you that the task is complete. There's a processing algorithm, the algorithm buffer starting. So now you understand the word buffer, isn't it? In this class, talked about lots of algorithms. Okay, so you can close it and look at your buffer. This is your buffer. You can turn off your buffer layer and see your original layer and then just toggle between the two. Or another thing you can do is that you can fade out. You can go to properties. Go to symbology, reduce the opacity over there, okay, so that you can actually have a certain view that is more interesting. Are you okay? All right, so now you can see that we created buffers around these structures.
So how do you do that? You go to properties.
Have you done the buffer? That's the first thing. Have you done the buffer?
Please. Yes, please.
You have your buffer layer.
Yes, please.
Okay, right click
Yes,
your
please.
buffer layer. Right click your buffer layer. Go to properties.
Yes.
Go to symbology.
Symbologies. Okay.
You go to opacity, 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 or opacity, or opacity, depending on where you're
opacity.
So then drag
Okay.
this slider, drag it to the left a little bit, to be 72% or 70%, and then say okay. All right. So you'll be having this kind of fused view. It's a fused view between two layers, as if you can see the two layers at the same time, but they are actually separated. Are you okay? There's a separation of concerns when we talk about layers.
Okay.
The idea is to separate. Are you with me? All right. So that is your buffer operation done. Are you okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. Yes.
Hello,
Talk to me. Yes.
If assuming I want to do my buffer, I want it inside the structure. Let's say it's a farmland.
Yes, and you want to do an inner buffer. Okay, let's go
that.
to. I think let's go to the buffer of the geoprocessing tool and see if QGIS allows us to do an inner or an outer buffer. Okay, and obviously, I think if you put a negative there, you may just get that. Let's put a negative inside this. I think you may just do it, or it may not work. Let's try it. Okay, I've just done one like that. Let's see if it actually did that. So let's see the difference between this and that. This is the original layer. Okay, this is outer. This is also outer, isn't it? So it means the negative doesn't even work. So, but for some software, negative does the inner buffer, positive does the outer buffer. Okay, so it depends on the software, but we know that we should be able to do an inner or outer buffer. That's a very good question, I must say. And I hope we didn't pick the buffer itself as the inputs, but I don't think we did that. So geoprocessing buffer.
Sir, can't you change the opacity of that one for us to see? Because
We
it looks
can,
a little
yeah, but I think what I just did a visual inspection. Okay. When I put this one off. Okay, when I put this is the one that we change the opacity, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
And this is the second one that we're doing. This one we haven't changed the opacity, but let's change it and see what happens.
I've changed it and it looks.
It's the same, isn't it?
It's not.
Really? It's
yeah.
Smaller, isn't it? Just smaller.
Yeah.
So you reduce it.
Okay, let's take
reduce it more.
Let's take our inner one up there, so we can actually drag one layer. Okay, let's take the first one. Okay, so now it's still an outer buffer. Do you agree?
Yeah.
It's still an outer.
Okay, but you see that the outer buffer was with respect to the new buffer we created.
Okay, so let's go and check. Maybe that's what is happening. Let me go and check. That's what I wanted to look at. That's true. It wasn't actually the stadium one. So let's try do another one. Negative value. Let's see. Because I'm thinking the negative should work. Let's try that. Okay. So if we take that on top. Perfect. So it worked. Can you see that the inner one works with the negative value?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes.
So it means yes. Your reference point, you need to go and select it in the buffer.
You need to change the layer that you are using. Yes, you need to change the layer, which I didn't look at that. So that's good. It's good. I think you guys are really following it, and yeah, with your input, I'm impressed. I think you should do very well. You should do very well in this course. Okay, that's good. So we are having this is buffering. It's very simple. It means this is just, is this, what type of buffering? Is this point buffer, line buffer, or polygonal buffer.
This polygonal.
It's this polygonal, exactly. We can do it for points, we can do it for lines. So it's up to the student to now try. Is that okay? All right. So let's try something else. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Questions, please. Yeah, let's have a question.
Is there a phone app we can use to collect data? Like
yes, there are a lot of phone apps. There are a lot of phone apps that can be used. You go on Google Play Store, you can get a lot of them that can give you, you can use it to do a whole lot. Is that okay? All right. So let's go to Play Store if you really want to do that. But that's not why what we want to do this afternoon, right?
After the lesson.
After the lesson, we can do that. Is that okay? You contact me and then you pay a little, then I'll show you. I'm just kidding. Anyway, all right. Let's switch off all the layers and then let's leave the original layer on there, which is the stadium ETM. And then let's see if we can do some layer operations over here. So let's try something like, I don't know, let's do symmetric difference. Okay, so symmetric difference between the buffered, the last one that we did. In fact, if all our layers have the same name, which is very dangerous, you see that? So there should be a way to actually differentiate between one layer and the other. Okay. Normally, if you want to rename it, just click it twice or so, and it should be able to do it for you. In this case, I think we can also export it and save the feature. So let's all save the last inner buffer. Save it. Let's give it a new name and put it somewhere. Okay, so let's call it inner buffer stadium. Always precede it, prefix it with stadium underscore inner buffer. Save it. Say okay. Okay. So this is a good one. Yeah, it's a very good one. And then we want to do vector. Please, have we done the saving the inner buffer? We need to save it and save it somewhere as stadium inner buffer. Have we done that? Anybody's done that? Let me know.
So let's go ahead.
All right. So I'm assuming that you've done that. And then we're gonna try these different. We talk about symmetrical difference, intersection, and union. I think in this class we talk about these three. Okay, the rest, that's interesting things, but let's just be focused. I'm quite interested in the symmetrical difference. We want to find a symmetrical difference between the stadium ETM and the stadium inner buffer. Simple as that. Let's see what we get. It's anything to. Let's turn off all the other layers and see what we have. So, per my explanation in the class, symmetric difference takes two layers, and then it does the A intersection B complement. Are you okay? As we learn from, we are engineers, so when I see this, I'm not scaring anybody. Okay, A intersection B. Okay, we have 10 minutes. When it's done, I don't know whether we can go for another round. I don't know. Class, I need your, because this is our last meeting. Let's take note of that. A intersection B complements. Remember this in set theory, right?
Yeah.
I can't get a bracket. Very good. So, yeah. So this is what is actually happening. This is what's actually happening here. So the intersection area is actually the inside, and then the outside is what we don't want. Are you okay? I hope you get that. And then so if this is the concept of symmetrical difference, okay? is the intersection, and then you don't want what you don't want. You don't want the intersection. So what else do you want? So we get the other area. And so this creates something like an island. Is this an island? No, this is an island. Okay, but we have certain features in the world that look like this, where there's nothing in the middle. It's like a bottomless pit, and then okay, there's nothing around in the middle, but there's something around it. Who knows any feature like that anyway? I'm sure you find something like that around the harbor area. All right, so guys, that's symmetric difference. So layers. So we've done tutorials to touch on vector. I want us to do something on raster. And then I think we'll close with that. Is that okay? We'll close with that. So let's get the data that I sent to you. Let's go to our WhatsApp and get the data I sent to you. If you haven't downloaded it, do it now. Okay. I sent you data on your page. All right. Let's go and get that data. And then we are going to see how that can also help us to appreciate. Let's do some raster data. We're going to add some raster data. So before we start, what we can do, we can just close it, or we can actually start a new QGIS instance. But I'll also show you what happened with the interpolation. I wanted to show something on interpolation. All right. So let me share this screen with you. Okay. Please get the data I sent on WhatsApp. There's one called DEM. So that's the one we want, DEM. Okay. DEM stands for Digital Elevation Model, which is really a raster representation of surface values. Are you okay? We talked about surfaces, okay, and some analysis we can do, surface analysis. Are you okay? All right. So now I think I still have my, interpolated values, but it's because the value is so huge. You know, that's what I said about raster. The raster is actually, in terms of storage, it's not the best. Remember, we tagged on the two different models in GIS, the raster model, vector model, and we said that the raster model, it takes a lot of space. Are you okay? Because you've got so many squares that you are trying to represent, and so it's just the software. What you are looking at now is a system that's not responding because the data is really huge. Okay. So I'm going to move away from here, and I'm happy that you saw it initially. So I'm going to go back to my new QGIS instance. All right. So this is my new QGIS instance. Have we all found the DEM data?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you want to unzip it. You want to unzip the DEM data. And I said unzip it, but don't do anything more than that. I have to go and get it quickly. I just have to come here and then get it. So look at the data carefully because there's a projection system in there, and there's a particular one that is actually like a picture. So that's the one that we are going to drag in. But if you delete any of the other files, it won't work.
So we should drag that file onto the GIS.
Oh, we are going to pick the. Have you seen any image file extension? Any file with image file extensions? So I'm just trying to get a.
The one I have is dem.tf.
Yes, dem.zip. No, unzip it so that you have the DM as a folder. Extract it to DM folder.
Yes, I have done it.
Wait, now when you unzip, you open it up. You see DM.aux. You see DM.rld. You see TIF. DM.TIF.
Yes.
You see
TIF.vat.bf.
See, all of them are supporting one file. The file that they are supporting is actually dm.tif. Have you seen that particular one?
All right, sir.
TIF. We have two.
TIF.
Okay, only that one. We have that one. Okay.
No, you don't want TIF.v8 and all that. It's a different thing. Now, the dm.tif, TIF is actually tagged image format. It stands for tagged image format. Are you okay? All right, so that's the one with interest. We want to drag that into our new QGIS window that we have actually opened. So when you drag it, some of you will see the image, some of you will not see the image. So if you don't see an image and you see a black screen, you need to draw my attention so that we can help you. Who is seeing a black image? Anybody?
I've seen a blank interface.
You've dragged it in, but you've dragged it in, but I don't see anything that is like a picture, right?
Yes, please.
Go and throw your machine away.
No, don't do that. Right click it and go to properties.
Okay.
And it's got something to do what we call contrast enhancement. Are you okay?
Yeah. Contrast enhancement.
Contrast
Straight to minimax.
Exactly.
Minimax.
Straight to min-max. Try that one. Contrast enhancement. Have you done that?
Yes, is there.
You can't see an image in your. You don't see anything like what I'm seeing. Have you seen mine?
Yeah, I can see.
No. You see, yours doesn't look like that, right? Anybody has seen mine? What I'm seeing? Anybody looking at what I'm looking at on their computers?
Yeah, I have mine.
Looks like mine.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good. Okay, so class rep. Class rep for you. You still can't see anything at all, like ours.
Okay, you don't worry. I'm coming.
All right. So is the contrast enhancement? You need to do straight to min-max. Let me see. I think basically that is what you do, and it should get. If it doesn't work, then it's a spiritual problem. I'm just kidding.
Their machine is not good. They have to discard it.
Yeah, sometimes the machine too plays. Honestly, computers are not as simple as you think they are. Yeah. All right. So having seen this one, this is actually height values. Everything we are looking at here. Okay, pick the hand tool, which is for panning. So let me actually introduce you a few tools that are. We have 10 minutes. I think that 10 minutes will end soon, isn't it? Oh. All right, so when you look at the top, you see this tool here. It looks like a hand. It's for the panning. It's for moving. It's for zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom to extent, okay, etc. Zoom to previous, zoom to next. Okay, so what they do is that they allow you to just interact with the image. Okay, you can actually closer. I'm doing this video for YouTube, so I think I need to really make sure we're doing things right. All right, so now we have a whole lot of buttons that you can explore. I think it's not rocket science. It's okay. We have what we call the field calculator, or you have the raster calculator. Go to raster calculator. Okay, so this one can allow you to, you know, work on multiply the values that you are seeing here, you know, by 2, or find the cosine of the values. Are you all right? So you can apply a whole lot of formulas to it. All right, so let's find out, let's pick